Firehard Games with one of our local players, Joseph Zacarias, who managed to top 12 with his Gren Maju Deck. So at the Tulsa Regionals back in June. So Joseph, tell us about your Gren Maju deck.
It's spicy. It's nobody was expecting it. It's kind of funny because nobody was expecting it. They were like, "What the fuck? You gonna normal summon a card D?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, it was funny. First round I got 2 Draco, 2-0'd them. Second it was Trickstars, 2-0'd. Third it was Sky Strikers, 2-1, my favor. Fourth round it was Gokis, 2-0'd. One that went on time. Fifth round it was Altergeist, and that's where I lost my first one. It was 0-2. Sixth was Lightsworn and Zombie Dinos, 2-1. They got the conductor out and kind of stopped some stuff, so got my favor on that one. And then it was Altergeist again, 1-2. They won that one. Altergeist do not like Gren Maju. And then my last matchup was I think it was Invoked Mech Knight, and then I 2-0'd them.
Wow. So you really didn't have any trouble against the top, the topping decks.
Yeah,
right?
Trickstars weren't really an issue because they don't have a lot of attack. Sky Strikers are pretty simple to solve. Just I had to know what to side in, and I didn't know when to go off. True Dracos were pretty easy just because I'd main deck Kaijus, like it was pretty simple to get around. As well as the Sky Strikers, and the only one that gave me issues was Altergeist, because they have like a compulse factor where they can pop stuff back up to their back up to my hand. So it kind of stops that one attack.
Okay. Cool. Well, why don't you show us the deck?
All right. Gren Maju Deck.
Okay.
For those who don't know, it's a continuous effect, and normal summon him essentially, and his attack is 400 times every card that's banished. That's mine at least. So face down, face up, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so for every 10, he's a 4K beater.
The only bad thing about it is that there's really no way of searching it, right?
There's a few hidden ways. That's kind of poop though.
Okay.
I don't usually search it. I usually draw into it. I play a lot of draw power. I like to get it to my hand, and then I like to plus off of that as well.
Okay.
3 Eater of Millions. He gets rid of problematic monsters, and can bump Gren Maju's attack up to like 6K.
Perfect for the leagues.
Yeah. Funny with this though is that he actually won one of the Mech Knight Invoked, because he can banish from a combination of your extra deck, your field, and your hand. So he can banish, like, I banished everything in my hand except for the Gren Maju, so I can normal summon it just so I could barely have enough attack to get over it. To go for game.
Edition, dude.
Yeah, bro. I run a lot of stall power. I don't like dying. That's pretty simple. Battle Faders are also Allure of Darkness targets. Same thing to go with it. So Scarecrow.
Okay.
This kind of sucked when I got called, but it was fine. I usually have more than one thing. A little bit of draw power. Card D. Yeah, people thought I was playing Exodia.
Wow.
Kind of confusing people when like I would just like normal summon card D, effect and pass, and they were like, "What the heck is he playing?"
Well, but you had the
You gotta have
Switch
that.
Scarecrows and
Yeah,
Battle Faders, right? To
Yeah, they were.
buy
Then
the
they were
turn.
like, "Oh, maybe he's playing Exodia."
That's pretty cool.
Necroface. Banishes top 5.
Oh my.
Underrated effect though is that it can shuffle everything back in.
It's like a full reset button for your
Yeah,
deck, isn't it?
it
Even
stops
if you
decking
banish
out.
your Grand Majus with like Pot of Desires and stuff.
Yeah, it's a dark target for Allure as well, which is always good. I would run it at 3, but it's semi-limited.
And if you really had to, sometimes you use that attack too, right? And
Yeah,
depending on how many
sometimes I
shuffle in, you
will.
can get up to like 4,000.
Yeah, sometimes I will just attack over things, because it does sometimes help a little bit, especially if you're going at like late game and you need to take your opponent's life points down. It can do that.
That's pretty awesome.
If you have like a Desires in hand that you can't activate, you can also just normal summon it and then activate the Desires.
Okay.
Little Foolish Engine, Turtle, Snow. His once per duel, so you only run 1, hit him. And then Snow's effect is good because it can banish from graveyard, hand, and field.
Yeah.
So if like I have a Necroface in hand and I need to bump Gren Maju's attack, I can banish Necroface from my hand and the combination.
Okay.
So that it'll banish another one.
Now with Turtle, since you banish a lot of the cards that you play, was there a lot of times that you actually saw it in the graveyard? How would you get it there?
Foolish, it's
Okay.
one way. Twin Twisters, DDR, things that discard
okay.
as cost. Those
Okay.
are also really good to dump.
So it's just fodder.
It's
Nice.
also some funny sometimes we just set Turtle and pass because they're like destroyed by card effect or they attack into it and then they just kind of like
It could almost buy you 2 turns.
Yeah,
If they don't swarm the field.
yeah. The best thing about it though is that Battle Fader, Swift Scarecrow, those have to be direct attacked. Turtle's any attack. So if I want to protect anything on the field like Eater of Millions or like even Gren Maju if it gets left there, then I can banish Turtle to protect it.
Okay.
Because they don't get attacked at all.
Okay.
Like I said about the Kaiju engine. Game of Seal.
Nice.
I'll put an order here of attack. Okay. So, some of the funny things to do with this, at least, is to special summon like one of the Kaiju to the field, typically the weaker one you have in your hand, and then special summon the one that you have in your hand. This helped bait out Link Rainbow for sure. Because against Nightmare Gokis, I Kaiju'd it with the Gamma Seal. I special summoned the Raiden, and then I went ahead and attacked with Raiden to Link Karibo, and it forced him to get that like 0 attack out.
Okay.
So you wouldn't take that like 2500. And then Gren Maju just went in for game.
Jeez.
And not to mention, Raiden is a, the reason why I played that is because it's in a dark for a low dark target.
Okay.
Spells, Pot of Desires, better Pot of Greed for this deck. Draw 2, it's always good, but the Banishing 10 is also good. Even if they Ash it, it's still plus 4k for Gren Maju.
Instant 4K, wow.
Yeah.
Good question. The sticky string kaiju. What's it made of?
Alright. Run 2 Pot of Dualities, just a little bit of searching. I like to use this in combination with like card D, because it kind of confuses them. It's a lot of searching. Yeah. If they don't draw and lock, it gets a lot of advantage.
Well, and like you said, since there's no like efficient way of searching for Maju, this is one way you can really just.
Also, if I already have enough banished and I search it, then I can normal summon the Maju and go for the game that turn.
Yeah. So you don't have to special summon them.
Flare Darkness. It's 2.
Okay.
Pretty self-explanatory. It's more draw power and banish. If you add to hand like Necroface or anything, you can always banish it through a lure, and then you get that banishing effect.
Were you pretty happy with running it at 2? Was there ever a time where you thought about maybe the 3rd because you had a lot of dark monsters in hand?
I've seen people run it at 3. I don't like it though. I like my deck to be straightforward, where I like a lot of versatility in my draw power. So Duality, Allure, the Desires, Card D, stuff like that can be stacked on top of each other to give me a lot of advantage.
Okay.
But Allure Darkness can be kind of bricky because if you don't have a dark in hand. 3 Gold Sark, Necroface, Banish 5, comes back to your hand. You can allure it away. If I have a lot of draw power in hand, so say I get one of these and 2 Battle Faders, then I would typically go for Gold Sark, the Gren Maju, just because I know he's eventually going to come back, and I have enough to stall, so he will. This deck hates back row, so 3 Twin Twisters. It's pretty self-explanatory. I hate Mirror Forces, Compulse, anything that stops attacks. Are one thing you want to get rid of.
Sakura 2 armor.
And really, with a deck like this, you know, Maju is like a glass cannon.
Yeah.
Like, he's really powerful, but he's also really easy to get over. But you know, if you don't have the element of surprise anymore.
Yeah, that's why I main deck Kaijus and stuff like that. Is because yes, it does help do a little stupid plays, but the biggest thing is it gets problematic monsters off the field, as well as Eater, and Twin Twisters. Make sure I don't get attacked. Like I don't have to worry about back row. So typically I can go straight in with that attack and I have to worry about any repercussions from it.
That's awesome. And like you said, another way to get rid of your turtle.
Yep, it's another way.
Sweet.
2 Soul Absorptions.
2?
Just 2?
Yeah, I just made deck 2. It's I've seen people run it maybe 1 or 3. A reason I played it 2 is because it's fun to see. It'll freak some people out. I won probably say about 25% of my games from people scooping because they like through Soul Absorption. I'd get up to like 30,000 and they just like scoop.
Yeah, I mean at that point, you just can't even do that damage.
Yeah.
Back.
It also helps against Trick Stars, and I like it at 2 just because it's got that element of surprise in there. Also, it helps with the stall factor of the deck, and it helps for cost to be beneficial. It's just any card that's banished, I gain 500.
Yeah.
So if they banish Reincarnation, I gain 500. If I Desires, that's an instant 5k.
Wow. And you know, when you put it that way, you're almost making a win condition with this card when you're going into the final round, right? In a match with the new end of the match procedures. Pretty much, if you get it up too high, even if you're playing against Trick Stars, there's really nothing they can do to you to bring you down to their level.
Yeah, with the stall power in it and the new end of match procedures, it makes it so I really can't die as frequently. And that if they stop the Glass Cannon Gren Maju, if the time will allow it, I can typically just kind of stall out with stall
win
power.
by life points. That's awesome.
1 Foolish, Turtle, Snow. If I have like Defissure or Mekros Cosmos in the field, you can also sometimes Foolish for a Necroface, and it'll banish itself instead. A little bit of Board Disruption, or Geki Dark Hole.
Okay.
Just because if Gren Maju can get that direct attack, It's good. These are also just good baits for a lot of cards.
Yeah.
So if they have like a Tri-Gate, if you Dark Hole, they're going to be forced to negate it.
Okay.
That's one big thing.
1 DDR. I only play 1. People run it 2 and 3. I'm not exactly a big fan of it. I typically just like to draw to the Gren Maju.
Yeah.
Not special summon it through like Gold Sark and then or Necro facing it and then EDR it. It did win me one with Goki because I had like 10 cards left in my deck. I had Allure and Necroface and DDR and like some random other card. So I allured Necroface, draw 2, and then Necroface luckily I knew would hopefully banish the Gren Maju, and it did. And then I was allowed to do that. But it's an extender, not exactly good.
Okay.
1 Dave piece, stall, plus draw, always good. It stops any of damage, which is good for things like Trick Stars. And then 1 trap, evenly matched.
1 trap. Nice.
Yeah,
It's the only one you need, huh?
it banishes, so Soul Absorption can gain from that.
Okay.
Not to mention, if they don't have a response to it for main phase 2, I can go into my turn and hopefully go for game for that.
Quick question: with the 1 day apiece, because it only says that no player takes damage. Did you ever try to bait something out by still attacking, even though because it doesn't stop attacks, it stops damage from it happening?
Like if I could like 1 day piece draw. So let's say I draw Eater of Millions. Special summon Eater of Millions, still attack with Eater, and activates effective banish. So you can still abuse 1 day of peace. Even if they don't take damage, but you can still get rid of their monsters. Extra deck, it really doesn't matter. There's a few things in here that do matter. I'd say Decode, Proxy, Tri-Gate, Underclock are the only thing that doesn't matter.
Why?
Because sometimes you do want cards in your graveyard. I mean, if I special summon Eater of Millions, and then I battle, and then like let's say they effect Baylor it, then it's just sitting there, no attack, nothing. So I can normal summon like a turtle and link it to Proxy, and then luckily it gets turtle live and grave, so Proxy protects itself, and it does protect me for that turn. So sometimes it's good just to shove these great. Underclock can also do some zesty plays to bring down some attack, so then Gren Maju can just go straight for game. But extra deck is just Eater of Millions kind of fodder, honestly.
And I guess if you really wanted to, you know, if you cited like the 3 winter cherries,
I tried it. It didn't work well because I didn't see them. Not to mention, by the time I did see them finally,
it was too late.
Yeah, my opponent already had like Shizukuro or like anything early on the field that I already wanted.
Okay.
It was it was an idea.
So that's what's awesome is I guess you can just run anything.
Side, 2 draw and lock. Okay. These are self-explanatory. Just Trick Stars, Sky Strikers. To combo with that shared ride, I like to draw. Cosmic Cyclone, just for extra backward disruption. Trick Stars, Reincarnation, anything like that. 1 Prohibition, just 1. You want to hit honest. You want to hit honest.
Good question. Well, unless you have more MSTs that you haven't shown.
Well, I know. I just main decked the 3 Twin Twisters, 2 Cosmic Cyclones, and I found that was enough to get rid of most back row.
Cool. Oh, well, why do you prefer Cosmic Cyclone instead of MST?
It banishes.
Just because it...
Banishes.
Okay.
Soul Absorption, it banishes, so it gets rid of it completely. If they're playing some Rogue Pendulum deck, I know that was an issue. I was kind of considering, I was like, might as well have those just so I can banish those scales. I just kind of thought ahead. I was like, it's a little bit more versatile with the Twin Twisters already being there. 1 Soul Absorption inside. Going to game 3. It's good.
So you have the third one just in case.
Yeah, 1 D-Fissure, Lightsworn Zombie Dinos. Really, that messed up that deck really bad.
And it helps you. That's awesome when that card and like Macrocosmos can help a deck.
I didn't play
At the
this.
same time as hurting another one.
And I should have, but 2 red reboots.
Okay.
That probably would have saved me. That was Altergeist, and I didn't play them. I regret that.
You never sided into them, or
no? I just didn't. I did one on my side.
Okay. What was in your side?
Ghost Trooper. Ghost Trooper Cherries.
Okay. And you never really played it.
No.
Gotcha.
2 anti-spells. Sky Strikers. Pretty self-explanatory. Slows down a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's good just to slow down the game so I can go to my pace. And typically, if I already have a bunch banished, I can slow it down so Gren Maju can get that attack in.
Cool.
1 Macros Cosmos.
There you go.
Just banishes more.
Trap D-Fissure.
Yep. 1 D-Barrier.
Cool. So you said in that day, Altergeist was your hardest matchup?
Yeah. Actually, Yashawn McNabb, the person who originally made Gren Maju at YCS San Diego, I asked him, I was like, hey, I made it, I topped. He's like, cool, what's your deck list? And I showed him, and he's like, I was like, can you sign a copy and send it down to me? And he's like, yeah. And I was talking about the matchups, and he said that Altergeist are almost impossible for Gren Maju. Just because the fact that they can bounce up to hand stops that one attack.
Oh, okay.
They can stop it without letting me actually get to that battle phase or anything.
Gotcha.
And I didn't know what Altergeist really did when I first went into it, so I was like kind of surprised, and it took me a second to learn.
Cool. Well, it's awesome that you pay respects to the original maker of the deck. Would you like to give any other shout-outs?
Firefight Games. keeping it real. My boy Eddie, this is his Squirtle mat. This is my lucky
yours
mat.
now. It's
Yeah,
yours now.
yeah. It took me a little bit to get off him, but it's I called it my lucky map. It's probably why I won Sky Strikers. Nope. That's about it.
Cool. Well, thanks for showing us your deck, Joseph, and great job, man. It's always awesome to see some rogue decks squeeze up there in the top spots, and you're now the first person here in Southwest Kansas to have qualified for nationals, even though you're not going. So.
Yeah, I can't go, but I did it.
Hey guys, start a petition and get this guy to go. Tell him to put off boot camp for a little bit. Well, good job, Joseph. Thank you so much for showing us your deck.
Justin.